Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Stars Autosport. In today's episode, I have to start with a disclaimer. Normally, we fix cars and motorcycles and things. In this episode, it's not really a fix. This is more of a Band-Aid. Basically, if you have a Honda V6 automatic and it's slipping, there is a good chance this is what's causing your problem. Again, do not try this at home. This is not a fix. This is a Band-Aid. This is something that I performed and it seems to be working fine. Honda, and its infinite wisdom, decided to put an internal pickup filter on these transmissions that you don't have access to. So when it gets clogged, you're SOL. I mean, you're out of luck. So you really have to take the transmission out of the car, disassemble the case, and replace the filter. At 198,000 miles, I'd rather either replace the transmission completely with a nice refurbished one, or not take the transmission out at all, which would be fantastic. Long story short, that's what you're doing. You're drilling a hole into the transmission case, you're tapping it with new threads, and you're putting a drain bolt. I put about 1,000 miles on the car, and it's been driving like new. The car shifts great. The telltale signs, in any gear the car will slip. Typically when the car is cold and it hasn't warmed up yet, it'll drive for a bit, and then once it warms up, you'll start to slip. So that's what happened to me, and eventually it got worse and worse. I did a fluid flush. It was okay for a few miles, but then it started to slip again. So ultimately that pickup filter is clogged and you have to get access to it to clean it. I actually drilled a hole through the particulate filter, through the filter, so it always has flow. Because you don't have a whole lot of room to get in there and access the filter. So again, this is not a fix. This is not a professional repair. This is kind of a Band-Aid that I don't recommend to clients. I mean, if I had somebody who came here and said, hey, do this to my car, I wouldn't do it just because it's not a professional repair. But if you're desperate, your car's stranded, it's slipping, and you're mechanically inclined and you have some tools and you're willing to tackle this job, I'm living proof that it does work. And it can be done. Let's go look at some tools and what this actually looks like on the car when it's done. This is where you would normally drain the transmission fluid from. And this is the modified drain plug here that's near the pickup filter. Pickup filter is essentially right here. So you have a lot of fluid that kind of pulls up right here that you don't have access to. This is an 18mm plug that I used that's working so far. I did start with a 10mm and then a 12mm and even a 14mm hole diameter, and you really don't have a lot of room. 14mm is pretty small, and 18 gives you just a bit more accessibility, so I found that to be best. From the center of this bolt here, I'm approximately about 108mm is where I decided to drill. Approximately 109, 110 from the case half, which is right here. I sprayed some brake clean in there and I tried to blow some stuff out and get all the debris out, and once I did that, and I went in there with a small little pick and I picked at the filter, all this nasty fluid came out. So I knew it was certainly clogged. And what I did even further was I actually took a drill right through the dense filter material. And so I had a perfect passageway where the fluid can flow all the time. Keep in mind the dimensions that I measured may be slightly off to your transmission. I don't know if the filters are all the same. I don't know if the pickup filters locations are all the same. I believe it's all in the same ballpark, but what might have worked for me may be different for you. So again, I'm going based off of my experience. This is the only time I've done this. I haven't done it to any other car, so I don't really know. I decided to go with the 18mm drain plug, which is huge. I mean, this is plenty. Anything beyond this point, you're going to have trouble sealing that hole. I think this is the max I would go in terms of diameter is an 18 mil. You can do 14 millimeters, you can do 10 millimeters, 12, whatever works for you. I had the best luck with 18 mil. It's a big drain plug. Get yourself a good quality tap. It's 18.15. Get these on Amazon for like 10, 12 bucks. And this is the drill I used, the drill bit. There's the transmission fill plug right in there. So if you look over the fuse box, it's all the way down there. That guy right there. Big shout out to AcuraZine forum. User by the name of Transfix had a great post on basically this whole process, and this is what really inspired me to do this fix. I will leave a link on the info below. If anything changes, I'll be sure to do a follow-up video, and I'll see you next time.